or it could be about the birth of man in general, multiple men and multiple women. Now, since Genesis 5 verses 1 to 2 explicitly refers to Adam as them, it makes sense to think of biblical Adam as an example of what's known as synecdoche, where a part, one man, is substituted for the whole, the entire human race. So yes, it could be a literal reading, or it could be synecdoche. Try saying that word 3 times fast. All right, next up is the multiple God contradiction. God tells the Israelites that there's only one God, and then he proceeds to mention multiple gods. Okay, so the explanation for this contradiction is that the Bible is filled with statements about different gods. Like, for example, Galatians 4 verses 8 and Isaiah 37 verses 19 claim that most gods were forged in the minds of men, and following their own non-existent law, they made slaves of us all. So the Bible introduces false gods like Moloch and Baal and Dagon and describe them as nothing more as straight up useless and fictional. But what about the times that God refers to himself as multiple people? Like in Genesis, where he says, "Let us make man." Well, that is explained as being a reference to the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. All three make up the one God. So not that there's multiple gods, but that there's only one God still. The next contradiction is, when did Satan enter Judas? Was it before the Last Supper? This passage goes, "And Satan entered into Judas, who was called Iscariot, belonging to the number of the 12. Then came the first day of unleavened bread, on which the Passover lamb had to be sacrificed." And that's found in the book of Luke, chapter 22, verses 3 and 7. Or was it after the Last Supper? "After the morsel, Satan then entered into him. Therefore, Jesus said to him, 'What you do, do quickly.'" And that's found in the book of John, chapter 13, verses 27. So the explanation of why this is not a contradiction is that both Luke 23 verses 3 and John chapter 13 verses 27 mention Satan entering Judas to lead him to do specific things. In Luke 22 verses 3, it is to get Judas to negotiate with the religious leaders to betray Jesus, while John 13 verse 27 is to quickly carry out the plan of betrayal. So there are two different functions of Satan at different times. So this is explained away as not being a contradiction. From there, we move on to number 6, also to do with Judas dying twice. Now, this is a pretty big and well-known contradiction, or apparent contradiction, I should say. The contradiction is the New Testament claims Judas both hanged himself and also his insides exploded after he fell over. So the explanation of why this is not a contradiction is that although in the book of Matthew, Judas dies in chapter 27 verses 5 by hanging, in the book of Acts 1 verses 18, he falls and his insides gush out. And since people usually don't burst open from falling over, and Judas was already hanging from a tree, well, it makes sense that Luke's account is actually a record of what happened when his corpse falls from the tree from a great height. So Matthew focuses on the hanging part, and Luke, the writer of Acts, he includes a more graphic conclusion. Halfway into number 5, demon-possessed men. The contradiction is, well, was there one demon-possessed man or was there two? Look at these passages. It says, "They came to the other side of the sea into the countries of the Gerasenes. When he got out of the boat, immediately a man from the tomb with an unclean spirit met him." And that's taken from the book of Mark, chapter 5, verses 1 to 2.
Egal wie komplex deine Arbeit ist, mit dem WorkOS von Monday.com ist alles stets einfach. Und so funktioniert's. Um loszulegen, musst du nur eine unserer Vorlagen auswählen und deine Teammitglieder hinzufügen. Das war's schon.
There's another account talking about 2 men. When he came to the other side into the country of the Gadarenes, 2 men who were demon-possessed met him as they were coming out of the tombs. They were so extremely violent that no one could pass by that way. That's taken from Matthew chapter 8, verses 28. And the explanation for this is that no verse actually asserts that there was only one demon-possessed man. So the claim that there's only one man that was possessed by devils is not supported by any text at all. So therefore, it's not a contradiction. Number 4 brings us a contradiction about reincarnation. Okay, what am I talking about? You guys are saying, oh, Leroy, okay. Reincarnation in the Bible? Huh? So the contradiction is that the Bible makes it pretty clear that you only have one life before you either go to heaven or hell. So based on certain versions of the Bible, when Job in the book of Job says, naked I came from my mother's womb and naked I shall return there, is he referring to returning to the womb, or is he actually saying something else? Now this passage is cleared up pretty easily. One example used is that since Jesus himself spoke in parables, taking every single passage literally isn't going to be a wise thing to do. And throughout the story of Job, he uses phrases like, my days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle, and my flesh is clothed with worms. So he's using a lot of metaphorical language here. So the mother's womb reference is him poetically saying that one day he's going to die. And that's the most simple and most common explanation for this passage. Number 3 brings us, Jesus says fool, another pretty popular one. The contradiction is that according to Jesus, you can go to hell for actually saying fool. And then Jesus himself uses the term some passages later. And the explanation as to why this is not a contradiction is to take in context Matthew chapter 5, verses 21 to 22, where
Some patch or sound in them mo. Patch or sound in them.
Sorry. For a church, I'm going to Mamajo about good news apologetics. You made it so. Said that there be a far to your say a boa. Your one on a share when Uncle Pansam no. And one and yes, sign a gusu, ye gusu siacono. Now, and you may me or menu at the be a minute did you ma, or so for Kefa, already do our min champion. So the boy ama yasan esua etro konkrom mu asem nti osofo mpacho temi kan nwumre me ma kwa ba bio na me san da wase se da bia yetu ensafro a wonya bre na obeboy wodwumadi no
Yeja openi asamwa eje so so me da konya odi amase demfa ensua Nyankopon asem ya misro
na minim se apomu ye pa
e pa cho dia wadon ya ho ye pa
da radio se yo we dem se edwumadi na na yeto aso na ye sha ase no ma ye nyina yate ase se eye Bible no contradiction ye ka no ebi ni Bible no enti yeguso a ye hwehwem ko enti de ye behu bia ya adwene be ye se ye fi se contradiction ye de beba na minim so Nyankopon so na mo so be ma ye emu enkyeremu na ene makohu ba ku bia no so enkofo ka ho asem pa eno de ye hwe ba doze
Descendants wa ko fa bia bon
eneso makofa bia ba neso makofa bia ba pa se ye namani ye hwehwe ye hwe de enkofo ebusa ye pa ebi o ha no kra ni se o ye Kristo ni kra ni se uhu na se be wa nsua de ana se wa nya obi ama na ankyere wo mu ya na wadwene kwa ye wontanta fa sa ne ma no nti ni nyina yese ye beboaboa ni nyina no na ya pe mu a Nyankopon adom mo nimde kwa eche se no maboa ya me ya because minim se sa ohawa enipa bebre we eye ohaw kese nti nyame nam ye so na se ye mantiase ye adwuma me gidi se ya boye ho moden kakra na osofo ne de no me ko fa free eye Noah Old Testament no eye na ye taati asem we pa se tama Onyankopon ma Noah build ark no Onyankopon share no emu adodo a onfa omu enko adaka nim
No crazy.
Na uko kan Bible ni baby a but we are mekan ni nyina said be a etiefo be hu de me pese me kire. So uko kan baby a okase emoa na no wado mu koye na 2 pairs. Uko kan baby so I was 7 pairs but you said be anti ase be adwuma nti. Mame enkan verses no. Na yemfa any asema mekan ho adanse. Ti but your first one mekan wo Genesis chapter 6 verse 19 and 20 no. Genesis chapter 6 verse 19 and 20. But you make kind also say utemenka make kind. Genesis chapter 6 verse 19 and 20 or say nafa honam a etiasie nyinaa mu mienu onini ne obedie ekọ adaka no mu na wanya enkwa wọ ho. But misisi bi o say nafa honam a ete asie nyinaa mu mienu onini ne obedie kọ adaka no mu na wonanya enkwa wọ ho. But yetie ba bi a mekan yi a na o hye ne say onfa mienu which is onini ne obedie nti se me find say appointed na be fa appointed by na fa appointed by ma. Enti enko hwe the Genesis chapter 7 verse 2 esoso ka. Genesis chapter 7 verse 2. But hosuti o say emo a won ho tie nyinaa mu fa enso enini ne abedie na emo a won ho ntie fa mienu onini ne obedie. Enti say de ama ekira adwene kakra ne say baby wo say onfa mienu but uba ha so be kan a wo say onfa enso. Enti osofo nyini say we de na contradiction a wo kan ya tomba.
Epacho atiefo na ahwefo na kwa ediba good news take net so me say network we dey a Christopher ni na network say oye jidi nko ade a say o subscribe now like it ema you make it koso because send that ID kan page epacho temenka
Bite won kan am say online no epopo kakra.
amra popo kakra na menen
Ebi kasa no
epacho eba
me patch on afi de.
okay it sound bisa enti sene na ye ka no obi ejidi ne na nyamsom ne bia na enye opani asamoa adwuma enye kefa ko adwuma na mu nyamsom ne bia no epato
edi ni eje anasa kwadwo mensa bia mensa
yeah kwadwo mensa ana mai na asamoa pato fata me pa enti enye Mr. Kwadwo mensa nko ena enya pato adwuma bi dia to no ho so se kefa road na de ade so ya so ano obi biara a oye nyamsom ne titiriw Nyankopon adwuma efo ena Nyankopon de sa adwuma we ahyɛnsa se yɛhwɛ nokore no yenni nokore so yɛmmɔ nokore no dawuru yɛmmɔ nokore no nso ho ban ti ba bia duru de yɛbɔ nokore ho ban na okwase wa bi sɛ efa Genesis chapter 6 ne Genesis chapter 7 no ɛme sɛ me nim de nti a badi we gina so sɛ ɛyɛ contradiction but sɛ ne di kakan no yɛbɛfa no sɛ omunnim nti yɛbɛkyerɛ wɔm omunnim nti yɛbɛkyerɛ wɔm enti yɛhwɛ epacho brofo ne ben so wo English
me pacho
good Genesis chapter 6 me pacho kan asem ne bi mai Genesis chapter 6 there no
okay Genesis chapter 6 pacho verse make kind free 19 20 no. Okay. Yeah. Genesis chapter 6 verse 19 and 20.
and 20.
But I'll say, and of every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort shall thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female.
Okay. I say, you know, minim the entire baby general so say a contradiction there, but what the better room. Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. Nyankopon abo enipa bi ama enipa bi aye asode akodi omumudi bone achi ama omo ye Nyankopon ma no enso abedane honam ena awurade se obo onipa nsen ka nipa ni na nanum asem so mo transase no so da na omo anyi nti no o sesa na dwene wo ho na wabetue nipa ka na wabe popa your friends enipa ene ntotebo ni na amana afiri asase so na obe popa no Nyankopon no bu atentrene no ena Noah eye nipa a otene a odim wo kan say verse 9 na Bible no chese Noah e nipa a odim na otene ti saade a obe save Noah ene na busuafo na o save Noah na busuafo na tiri mo pusa nya se obe saasase kra ne mo nipa e wo so obe save wo ene mo adoma na wo so na obe save wo enti se obe save Noah ne mma na odi suri be save wiase a Noah ne mma no ebenya aduane adi se wo se ni wo se vi Noah enipa bi na se save abi se ni be on sam mai foforo ne mom se suiri na waside sam dore se so ma the purpose asasem we e wo hono no okay ena watre Noah se Noah enye apomadaka Noah ya apomadaka no no watre so ya apomadaka ni wi a fa asaso mwadoma mienu sa mienu o ha sei no eye restrictingly say oba ne bema mwadoma bia no fa oba ne bema nti se wo fa krante a wo be fa tu ne wo mu no eye oba ne bema oba ne bema e wo two side nti sa mienu we ne nye te se wo be fa aponche ema tu mema tu da bi ne mo be fa aponche baba ko bema ba ko ese mu save abode no abode bia wo save oba ene bema wo de ahase opeso wotre no now yenko 7 verse 2 no na yenhwe different yenhu say different be anim but ahase ne de wotre no say obe save wiase but o save wiase no on save mu adoma no 22 oba ne bema ba wantre e madodo ahe a on save ena me madodo ahe a on save wantre wa ha nemu bo modern so be save oba baako bema baako but the number of ema yen saving the number of mema yen saving no one chere nti 6 no de no eno na o chere nti 7 verse 2 no ena ebe chere ema dodo a save mema dodo a save na mo adoma no ye omu ahodo otu ye wo Nyankopon na obo na de no say o de omo hote ceremonial clean and now ritually clean de timide ye empata adwuma ye timide ye afarebo adwuma aha ye wo de hoten de ho nyeden ente wo ho enti save de ho te no two pair nti ema de ho te no 7 pair de ho te no 7 pair ena de ho te no 2 pair enti enya contradictory 7 no na ebie ni mad do ahe na yen save me mad do ahe na yen save 7 na ebe chirem se dodo se mean save me pa yen kan se no 7 hono de
Okay. Genesis 7:2 or say, of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean by 2 the male and his female.
good enti o say ate was say take with you pairs of each kind of ritually clean animal but only one pair of unritual clean animal unritually clean animal nti that's what trying to say matter was say man me de by more than you mutu You were ritual clean and unritual clean. Okay, Bible no Leviticus na or better Leviticus chapter 11 or ritual clean and unritual clean. Eba efie mu a ɔkyerɛ sɛ ne ɔmote ne de obemu ahu sɛ beast we ɛhote ana ɔhonte your friends ɛsoro ɛpum pata de ɛhote na ɛhonte ba de ntu amfa pum pata ma ne sɛ ɔmo de nsuo ne ba ɔmo survive because ɛhɔ na ɛyɛ ɔmo dwelling place ba ɛba ewiem no ma ɛne asaso mu adoma na let us know when the mu ɔmote na ɔmohonte deda ɛna ɔse save de ɛhote no 7 pair nti mɛma 7 Emma 7 save you. And no more monte and dear. For 1 pair, oba baako, bema baako. Ewa buaduma BM. There's nothing like contradiction. In none say, first one or trying to say, own save a barney bema, but one said the number of clean and unclean animal own save. But I say no, and I watch it, and what man Mrs. Save or barney beman, you were clean and unclean. Nti emma ne mema mu no de ye clean no save 7 oba 7 mema 7 and de enya clean no save your friend is saying 1 pair kese oba baako bema baako eno anu no purpose timpa o man save sa 7 ewo clean animals ni mu no later Bible no better de into o man save ye enko betima ma save 1 pair but who say Yankopon bo ade wo edin trum no hade ye hade kakra bi wo Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 Yankopon ma nipa ko nenam ne nipa nenam enti me pa cho we Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 am pa cho kan boy kakra ye hwe wo
Genesis chapter 1:27 but I say na Onyankopon bo onipa wo ni suban so Ani Onyankopon suban so na obo no obarima ne oba na obo but 127 is yeah Mento aso 28 na Onyankopon hyira wo na oka kyerɛ won sɛ munwo na monore na monye asase so ma na munya sutumi na muni epomu mpata ene ewiem no ma ene mmoa a wo asase so nyina so
aha say no on say munni no ena ode so abeso so they were yema Adam ne Hawa to me say they should only have dominion over the beast of the earth, the birds of the air, and the beast and the fishes in the sea. Wamomu to me say ondu omso have dominionship over them, but wamomu to me say omundi as a biane. It is not a namu we enka Adam more time. The entire Yankopon man year 7 no Bible never better we are last minute to an better but ye corner back was minimum. Enti 7 your friend saying munni wo so no o wi obemo maduane a wo munni me patro ye nto aso o ba bia o kan na Genesis chapter 1 no nto aso
okay na but you do 29 oh me guy for 29 but okay 29 o se na Onyankopon ka se hwe me di mfudi a ewo asase eni nyina eni nnuaba nyina mama mo se enye moaduane
die Nyankopon de mani passe enye na aduane ahaban a ewo asase so eni mfudie eni emu aba eni ode mo se enye moaduane na ta se na enam nya den enka ho now the purpose Nyankopon e save emu adomanaka Noah huni ne master plan of the ball asase no enyansi enti se mo aye bon na se me bese mo a me bese wiase na at that time enti emu adoma na e wo wie me be ma otumi ofra wo ma ombeba ba vi no make sure say abo bia ba e ma na aba e ma ne be ma mu no save die ne ho nte no save oba ne be ma baako 1 pair na save wo mo ho te no mema 7 that is 7 pair na form etenem because osasa asene wi a emfudie na de ama nipa se nipa ni no ni na so besai enti sa 7 ni mu no 2 pair omo ho nti 2 pair de how I no one to me kumo because nyanko pon bota was what they say we say omo besa wo ayede atra asasa ma nti no save one pair omo ho ntino ba 7 pen dey to save wo no say release no we a eno ne mani we a one satam ya say enubai was asu na say nti no one to me nkonya apple ni no one to me nkonya banana ni no one to me nkote kontomire emfa nya nkwan na emom nyankopon man ehọ na nyankopon man na kwan say ubetimi akum nam ni bi sa 7 ni mu no ubegya say 2 pair ne kokora na omo maka de ubetimi akum bi enko wo de betena so ko say ombesa wo adore nti wo nyankopon tiri mu ponto de bible ne betere e wo ha say this one saba bi almost a contradiction a plain word save verse 1 to say save oba ne bema ba wan kire e ma do ene me ma do a won save and na 7 verse 2 no o kire yi ama me say wabo ade na wie dia save emo mo hote mo adoma no me tem save mo hote enso 7 pe bema 7 mass na save omo ho ntie no 1 pair bema baako oba baako na botaya a odi save 7 pair no odi obehunu noa efiri adaka nim no obehunu se oyusu bi ededa nyankopon ase ede bo afode se nyankopon ase no ede bo afode ma awurade kopon tra afi die okati
But what do Mike no?
e ba totemenka
Me ba ja fide.
e ba totemenka
Me ba ja ai.
me nso mente wonka
Oh. Wow.
amen
Me te unga pa. Yo, we dey bisa for am say adisiano ye dun finfini ye pa na ye osampa keni kefa na huma na am say enim wa no papa nti office no wasan join ye. Ye pesa de na baso am say maybe a o kire kono ye beja na ma na wie na afi wo assembly say be ampacho betimi attra to comment section na ye busa na ma. Nti sa be de ye beja na ma o ma explanation no de akosi awie na obi a was assemble be na the assembly sanaba.
also
Open
good
at say network naja. They say them say Timbacho bit much was.
obi na fresi mi phone so ntina man na ba sa part of it.
Oh, okay.
We dem say your penny baako pa eda misa wo hwe me part of yeah one of the best apologetic pastors in Libya me fi
Wow.
Yankopon Israel
Ebrepe obewa besrai wa ha.
I promise apologetic movement ye mo Bible ho ban dia ba bia wo bia ho obani nya dia wo bia
we dey ebefa akwanya so na ya chia preko na mi say ke wi ani ya chia so that we dey ye chia bebre good news for projects ye chia
na mi hu say wa ye when we say wa send comment ho na mi hu ntina ma de chia no
yeah ye chia no pa ni ALI fo nyina ye chia mu nyina
amen ona ugwa muti dane
well na for your surprise so me teacher no no nti say e bia unim say me teacher no
patron
that means I'm a teacher no
okay
yeah
okay then edi kan no there is no contradiction or bibia say ni Genesis as account na ho no Nina no say Genesis chapter 6 send can kind. Genesis Nyankopon be say we aso no say David emoa ba ne bema. Nto de say me kan your friends a good news Bible ye kita me ya o kire mu fine Emma reading no simple a obeti ase. Say verse 19 no. Or say take into the boat with you male and female of every kind of animal and every kind of bird in to keep them alive. Take along all kinds of food for you and for them. Noah did everything that God commanded them. Into good year, take along with you every kind of beast. Into sa you no specifically obani bema energy. But one time do a wanya den. Into 7 verse 2 no better. Who you obani bema na omo mhotie no yi baako. Bani bema and no one wanted no your bani bema saying 7. Now and no cra 7 na cra na Bible no better reason tia or Tromo say only 7 no. The pato you hear the do has say 9 verse 1. And I say oh 9 verse 20. Yes, free 8 verse 20. You hear 9 verse 1. This is what. Never reason tia kopon ma oja more 6 no. But some fact the more 7 no. Reason no Bible never mind Patrick Yanko.
But I can Genesis chapter 8 verse 20. Or say na no see afaribuchi amerade na ofa ntotebo a won ho tie nyinaa mu bi ene noma a won ho tie nyinaa mu bi e de won bobɔ ohye afɔde wɔ buchi ano so.
Inti on the inti 7 the Bible say eye na ofa the fans omo ho tie no so form 1 pair or the bar for ya the end san wo amoma kasa so tinya onimu nyansa ntini nyansa ntino ka tell say save 7 and 2 nyame bo ade no ama Adam say akwan say onenam ne momode asaso ahaba ne man say onye den ondi enti 7 nimu no say ojai say unclean animals no say 1 pair no eba ija 1 pair na say 1 pair na ba omo de omo kwako Adam because e oba ne be akọwa woro se na ogbo ade kan na no ti o recruiting foforo almost akọwa ti no wani ho kwan se o bi and no one so obeka ya omo adaka nim no omu ano asoma boa akọkọ he se emfufie bi eden e wo ba bi a aboa no be ba na nsu wo ba bi a just no ba na eden asai to the ko no kote the friends and ba ko de ba e mo hu se ene asase na wo na bibia free satam de na no one na man be di ko si se Niman na beside them, every free. Yaminians 9 verse 1, the Pato Yanko. Genesis.
But chapter say
The Pato Genesis chapter 9 verse 1.
9:1. Okay, o say na onyankopon hyira Noah ene ne mma na o ka kire won say munwo na mo no so na mo nhyɛ asase so mma. But to also.
Until one say recreating send Yankopon bo Adam no ka tell say mo na mo sasa so ma say nka ipa dos pe di bone no wa save obi nti obi a o save ne pe no wa ne yere ne ma no mo yere no se na be o mo so be wa den asan do the same thing na o ye mo wa no e pa Yanko
O say na muhu ne muhu suro emra asase so emuadoma nyinaa ene ewiem no ma nyinaa de ewia fom nyinaa ene epomu mpataa nyinaa so mo nsa na wode won ahye
Pato Yanko
3 o se de ekeka ne ho a ewo enkwa nyinaa enye mo aduane
ya oment say on the first no anka ogbo Adam no ama de ekeka emuadom amfa nya aduane nti se wose de ekeka ne ho a wasa so na nya mo aduane a no wa mo de no mbesa ase adi 7 pair nim no omu ja 1 pair kwa 6 na beka no enu bi na no wa yi dia ya can be di ko say e mo an be wo asan dore ya sasa so ma bi. There is no contradiction here. Me so say Bible no actually no ho ase. The as I was recruit here from
Okay. And the also made over call a chikakra echo Genesis chapter 6:19. Nature say two now or kind na e kyerɛ sɛ ɔbaa ne bɛrima mom na mmom na ɛnyɛ two no na ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔmfa two no direct ɛnkom na mmom na ɛyɛ identification so ɔkyerɛ sɛ it should be ɔbaa ne bɛrima. Mpatwɔ saa na ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkyerɛ
Osana Bible no intina me kind in different translation or a good news in the or chile specific no kwan put the one get to or can male and female and no more more no to be so two but the male and female into save verse 19 or say take onto the boat with you male and female you say one specify take boat two animals there be I say male and female.
I'm say tree Bible. I'm say tree Bible. They me kind of no ball mienu. Oh, tree Bible no baby I me kind.
Na no crown puno. Sa the tree Bible no kind no. Still na make sense. I say mienu wo mo adoma nyina mu. Just aponte a say we two oba bema.
Oba ena bema. Okay.
Ojanya. Oba. It is still now as I make it. Yes, I will be our person or find a photo or no before so I create a program man.
Enti say na tie sameti say ya. Ewo chapter 6 no. Mienu no ye ebia mienu no. Na chese ofa odwan a odwan bema ofa appointed bema na emomukọ chapter 7 na e na obekire say mienu na wafa na hodo 7 but say sir
the patch
okay yeah I think it's a very
fa obane bema was 6 no by 7 no e man mema he na memfa man me mahina me fa e na osan te 7 say sa mo man kra mu ahoro ye ode ne hote ende ne honte wo ho nti ode Noah unim deda fa de ne honte no ma emu one pepe e na nko mo maka no mo nka kire na de ne hote no fa 7 then kanyam kra betimi a save one pair but said me kan no de watire no surplus na watire e for service of man and God and Noah the service of God. Yeah. Inti ne contradiction there.
Nature say also for say the
contradiction they say
and I there ba so me hu ni say mostly no e mu bebre kan Bible na yen kan ni nyina ensi enhu asem ni nyina nje fa ni say we say obi create contradiction obi kan 6 no now what they are making a point no asako kan 7 no they are making different point. But say what kind 6 no 7 ni na bom now tia say I think say no ha kire ne ho ase
emuda ho yo sane yo kan opani me say sa pepe ne tie okọ Facebook ana YouTube ana say Google no akobo contradictions in the Bible to na no amano o me kan a full glance no hwe contest na asafa ho no di ya no ya twi baabi ya ko twi baabi ene ye de ye contradicted by force to no so fire na wafa no de nam ana say ebia ni teacher bi na e kire na wate no twatro quotation na to no ono so na mo ka bi tena say bebre na ye aya yembemu bebre na ye ignorant bebre na ye ignorant na me mfa blame ne ma asoreba na o ye ignorant no bebre na so me de ma ye asofo ne bi ye de nyamosom ne tum ne kadodo ye nyamosom ne tum ne kadodo o de betu wani ahwe first ne pa na Sunday school ni etire bibi ti at least unwie Sunday school mrampanimfo mu no at least here the children Bible no amma wanya a full story of the Bible. But and one so I call ya go to baby near the church no. We are go to her Psalms no there or the preaching no call. Ti nipa na tade ntia no. Kramoni kita Bible no so the church na okotu bepe sa we so Bible mu gidi ni a kunim se me kotu me ko ba bi kotu Sefania Kristo ni bi nim se Sefania kora o Bible di Sefania enti ye was wonderful but ni nna mu no se ne Nyankopon de ato amapono so a nyame no so me yeso se Nyankopon se ebere ni mu no obeje firi mu ono odi Nyankopon de ande obese o mo de enti
amen.
Yes, for the body and Yakopana so that way, you some paso and but future to come will be better ebebo will be not what kind of Sunday Yakopona me so kind of me. Then the Munti as an agent.
Look up. So for us, there was a pioneer said, and say, and said, I'm man in yet tinty, before we inquire because me who says, a faba company chirimuye na and Tiasani, a duma, a chance say. Best sabi brabo so maybe I antimi anwie ni pa nya monti ase enti kakra me so meka ne se a Christopher asede pa se Nyankopon asem a asofo de kyereye no e wo se esu nya adaje ne ehwemu yie efi se empem bebre ne ehu sa asofo bebre gina pulpit anim a omu akotu Bible no na omu anka asem a Bible no ka enti se no se unnim asem na the sofo no pese o do fa no do be fa obeyira o na emom se o ka na se esu enya adaja fa Bible ne ahwe sa asem na wo ka no sa na ti a megiri se be ma ye ni ada ho pa e be ma nante be bra Christopher 1990 ni nyina to betwa afi so e be ma sa ensem bi ti se asem kitikiti anene obi agina so wo so ene se social media yi o course a wo ye bibia mo se na obi atinti mo sa asem anya asem kra enam se Bible ni yensuanti na ya creating a some kakraka basi enya to boase ne se sua te se de yesua kakraka ya megidi se sansa me ne bi ba emo ye hu kra ete meda wase pa na de se da me kan me fa o tab ne bebre na koso abompa ya ma se nyame ma onim de o ma wa hode na da bia eto nsa efrewa otimi enya bi na de ababeboa good news projects ente menim also for the obekan twa to na ene de em se me fa o brain bebre sa
Nina na wakano. Message so second video be a na wa share na wa subscribe ede ato hon so na aboa mane ne bi so abia ebeje uni bia na obusu ne bi so nti yen share na yen subscribe na question bia e bia wo efa hon so no comment to pani back in kind na ehu hia se or the response ma na or the amount e wo brese nti Nyankopon Israel non ken na
amen o chira upa so mesa fa kwanya so na masa chia eda Emmanuel misabio se te se de me kan no oye me teacher ni kese pa me magazi me personal teacher me kan sa obo me kwa bebre so na ye hwe ni musa brepa mo no so be ba be ede ne mo a be ba be bo odwumadi nti me sa chia ne bio ene ne hokani just for the other day the basic hana nyame adoma bra nyame be makwan no asan abebo abi ne esua de nti for the juma de besia na da foforo no e besan ato aso biom e chia obi a good news apologetics na motie nka